Well, this is another Land Rover video. Something I've been neglecting for a while. It could be an 8-wheeler video. We'll see what happens yet. I need to avoid the wife's plants, which means I've got to go around. So, the other day, we went for a drive. And at night, and of course, LED light bar, attracted all the bugs. We have a crap ton of moss over the front. I went to wash the windscreen and no water came out. So I pulled up on the side of the road, watch my legs here, and went to put some water in the wash bottle. Wash bottle was full. And so I went, well, screw it. I got the Windex out, cleaned the windscreen. We have been to the car wash since and still haven't got all this off. Anyway, that got us to where we were going. Then when we finally pulled up, I managed to pull the windscreen washer pump out. We'll see if we can fix this. Over the back of the headlight too. So what happens when things have been sitting for a while is often, particularly washer pumps, if there's any kind of a problem with the seal, the water goes up into the motor housing. The motor housing in the windscreen washer got completely full of water and seized up, like there's no fixing that. So I went into my local auto shop, and they just happened to have exactly the right one on the shelf. This had water in it before, but when you pull the washer pump out, all the water comes out. And there are ants on my Land Rover, and I reckon I might have ants in my Land Rover. These little pavement ants are nuts. Gonna feed them some borax and sugar later. Now, that aside, the easiest way to get to the washer pump in this is actually to take the headlight out, which I did, and you'd realise you know because I put the headlight cover on the wrong way around. Not that there's any real problem with that. I did drop a screw, so let's pull that out. I'm going to replace the screw after I replace the windscreen washer pump. If I've done things right, I have already published the video of me finding this problem. Now, as you might imagine, it's a pretty simple task of Phillips head screwdriver and remove 4 self-tapping screws. These are the screws for removing it. These are the screws for the adjustment. You can drop screws in here and they're usually okay, but there is a gap in the side here where screws can fall through. So you got to be careful. Okay. Careful not to drop screw. These are non-magnetic screws too, and they are stainless. And they're rounded in just a way that makes them difficult to handle. Okay. Pay attention to these two little rubber thingies. They help you keep the headlight alignment correct. There's our other screw we missed. Okay, through here we can see plug for washer bottle, which will need some contact cleaner. We can also see up here hole for washer, and somewhere hanging around in here there is also windscreen washer pipe. This was very solid. We're going to heat this with a lighter to soften it up to fit it on there. So yeah, let's go get the contact cleaner. It's not perfect, but there we go. I think probably I want to get the pipe on first. What's this thing? Oh, we have a rubber we have a new rubber seal. That might actually be good. We might peel the old one out. There are ants all over the inside of this vehicle. I think I've parked on an ant's nest. They look like the same thing. So we're going to put the new one in. Alright. If it will go in. Hope so. Okay. So the new seal's gone in. That's good. The walrus will be happy. It's a tight seal. This hose, however, has seen better days. I do have a whole roll of it somewhere. However, I don't want to pull the dash apart. Okay, if you were to do this pipe thing properly, you'd use a cup of boiling water or something to soften it, but I am admittedly quite lazy with these things. Oh, that is going to go on nicely. Okay. Oh, a little bit more warmth in here. Let's get it a little bit softer. Okay, that's on properly. Okay, so there is a little clip on here that goes along the side there. That I believe that's the right way. Cool. Okay. I think that's on well enough to make contact. So I think if we're lucky, we can just push this in the hole now. Hopefully my phone doesn't fall over. I probably should have put a bit of water on the actual pump barb. It would have gone in a little easier. But that appears to be in okay. We can't really see because bright light. There's our pump there. We're doing good. I think we're in right. Bit hard to film this. Okay, so now we're just going to put headlight back in. Put a rubber seal back on. And yeah, we should be good. I might have to drain that. There's a bunch of junk was inside my hose. Alright, so my solution to the junk in the tank is to just overfill the tank for a while. Alright, there's a little bit of junk, but I think I've cleared most of it out. That could have been some of the problem as well. It might have just been crap in the tank. Alright, we're inside. Getting accessories. Wow, holy crap, we have pressure now. At least I'm in the middle yet. Cool, can we ride in wipers now? Wow, I didn't realise how underperforming the other pump was working. We do have a blocked nozzle, but I have a tool for cleaning them. I'll sort that out later. Alright, we're back and working. Let's go put the headlight back together. Alright, so I just stopped for a minute because the Artemis 2 is re-entering. So we're in a voice chat with this guy, so I'm going to sit and watch this for 10 minutes.
Flight Dynamics reports that airborne assets in the vicinity of the splashdown zone do have a visual on integrity. Still 2 minutes and 40 seconds left in our blackout period. Time to splashdown, 9 minutes, 35 seconds. Multiple airborne assets as part of the recovery team all have visuals on integrity. We're standing by for communications from the crew. We should be out of the blackout period less than a minute from now.
Yeah. Man, that speed drop off from 25,000. I can't tell, is that meters an hour? They're going miles per second at the moment. That's a pretty good.
We are now processing data from integrity.
Integrity, Houston, comm check, post-blackout.
Houston, Integrity, we have you loud and clear.
Your trajectory is nominal, and your recovery teams have visual.
Yeah, that's a good view of the capsule coming in.
Right, 4.5 minutes. We should be seeing chutes in a moment. At least the decelerating drogue.
And there go the first series of parachutes. And we're on drogues. Search and recovery beacon has been activated on integrity.
Houston, Integrity, splashdown, sending post-landing command now.
Splashdown confirmed.
Copy splashdown, waiting on VLDR.
Right, distractions aside, we're going to put our 4 screws back, and I found a replacement one. So we should be good. One of the things I don't like about Land Rovers is they put pop rivets and everything. The reason why this is stupid, I dropped the screw and it's gone down between the tack plate holder, and all the King's screwdrivers and all the King's hammers are not going to get this out again unless I drill that out. Alright, a couple of sets of tweezers later, we have it back. Watch me drop it again in 2 seconds. Alright, roll back together. Our washers work. I've got to get my declogging tool and I've got to get some Windex on the windscreen, but the vital part works. I'm going to go inside now and go and watch them recover integrity. A little emotional. I think I've worked in so many high-risk environments, I've realised just how risky that kind of stuff is. Anyway, catch us later. See you in the next one. Hopefully it's something you like.